let's finish the notes for this unit. Let's take a look at questions 45 through 48. So find the area of triangle ABC, entered as a decimal and round to two decimal places if needed. So triangle ABC. That's basically, let me see, triangle ABC. That is, oh, it's not wanting to write. Why not? Can I go with a pen? Okay, so ABC basically saying find the area of this triangle. Okay, not bad. What do we need for the area of a triangle? We need the two segments across of 90 degrees because we're going to multiply them and then divide it by 2. So I need this side. I'm coloring in red, and I need this side, the color in blue. Okay, those are the two sides that I need. I need to multiply them, then divide it by 2. I don't have the red side, the side CD. I don't know how big it is. And then the side AB, I know part of it is 8, right? From A to D is 8, but I don't know the remaining. But I see, I see that we have here three triangles. I know we saw a couple weeks ago, we saw similar right triangles. Remember what I said? We have three triangles in there. Let's say the small triangle here. Remember, I used to call this the small side, the medium side, and the large side. So let's see. From my red triangle, remember I have to go small, medium, and large. So I know the small side is 8. The medium side, I don't know, but the large side is 17. And then let me paint in blue here. We have another right triangle here. And I'm gonna call this the small side, the medium side, and the large side. So the small side, I don't know. The medium side of my blue triangle, I don't know either. And the large triangle, the large side, I don't know. Okay. And then I let me use green. So this is my small side, this is my medium side, and this is my large side. My small side is 17. I don't know my medium side, and I know my large side is 8 plus something. I don't really know it either. Okay. What are one of the values that we need to solve? This side right here, right? The side CD. Let me call it X for right now. Okay, so that's the median side of the red triangle. It's X. And then the medium side, the small side of the blue triangle, I'm gonna call it X as well. Okay. And then what's another side I need to solve? Let me use purple here. What's another side that I need to solve for? I need to solve for this M side, right? Let me call this Y. Okay, so the medium side on the blue triangle, I need to solve for that. And I'm gonna say the large side, the hypotenuse of the big triangle, I'm gonna call it 8 plus Y. Okay. So let's see, what can I do? What can I do? Couple things. Couple things here. I can solve for x easily using the red triangle. I can solve for x by using Pythagorean theorem. Every time I have a right triangle, I can solve for the third side. Remember, a squared plus b squared equals c squared. When I'm solving for this side, basically I have that 8 squared plus x squared is equal to 17 squared. So I have that x squared is equal to 17 squared minus 8 squared. So x is equal to the square root of 17 squared minus 8 squared. Type that in on a calculator. So let me bring my calculator out. We've used calculators, so let me bring my calculator out. So I'm gonna go the square root of 17 squared minus 8 squared, entered. Okay, that's 15, right? Good. I'm glad it's not decimals yet. So I know this side is 15th. I know this side right here is 15th. Good. Okay. Now, a couple other things I can do here. Because let me erase my sides here. Let me erase this right here. Let me take a look at what are the two measurements that I truly need. I need this side, but we found out that this side is 15th. That's not a big problem. Okay. Because remember, I'm looking for the area of this triangle. What's the other side that I need? I need, see, this thing froze. I need this whole thing right here. Okay. And this right here, we were calling it what? 8 plus y? Okay, you know what? I'm gonna use the red triangle and the green triangle. Let me type this. Let me see real quick here. Because I'm gonna use the red triangle, but for the red triangle, I'm gonna use the measurements 8 and 17. So I have that 8 and 17. From the green triangle, 8 is corresponding with 17. So I'm going 8 goes with 17. And then 17 from the red triangle is corresponding with 8 plus y, which give me the whole segment AB. So I'm good with that. Now let me cross multiply it here. 8 times 8 and 8 times y gives me 64 plus 8y. On this other side of here, 17 times 17. I'm going to use my calculator for that. I know 17 times 17 is 289. Let me subtract the 64. So that gives me that 8y is equal to 289 minus 64, which is 225. Let me divide that by 8. I get that y is equal to, it's not a big decimal. I can write the whole thing, 28.125. That just gives me here 28.125. Cool. I can get this already. What's the area of this triangle? I'm gonna write a fraction. 15 times. I'm gonna do parentheses here. 8 plus 28.125. Why did I do parentheses? Why didn't I just type it all without parentheses? Because I want this whole side to be added before we multiplied. I remember order operations, you multiply before we add, but I want it to be added first. So remember, parentheses comes before multiplied. Okay, so multiplying those two sides. And then, like I said, then I multiply by 15, and then all of this divided by 2. So I'm literally going to type that on my calculator. So 15 times, open parentheses, 8 plus 28.125, and then all divided by 2, and it gives me 270.9375. I'm going to run it to 2 decimal places. So I'm going to call this 270.94. Nice. Let's take a look at question number 46. Find the area of EFG. Enter as a decimal and round to 2 decimal places if necessary. Okay, so I'm going to do similar triangles to solve for the size that I need as well. My red triangle is here. Here's my small, medium, and large. So the small side is 4. The medium side, I don't know. And the large side is 8.5. But wait a minute. Can I solve for the medium side? Yes. It is the square root. Because remember, let me just come first. 4 squared plus x squared is equal to 8.5 squared. So x squared is equal to 8.5 squared minus 4 squared. So it means that x, the third side, is the square root of 8.5 squared minus 4 squared. I'm literally typing it on my calculator. And it says this side is 7.5. Cool. I know that side already. Nice. So I have a blue triangle here. Here's the small side, the medium side, and the large side. The small side, medium, and large. I'm going to say the small side of the blue triangle is 7.5. Because that's the same as the medium side on the red triangle, right? So 7.5. I don't know how big is the medium side, and I don't know how big is the large side. Some of fact, right now, the medium side, I will need it later. So let me call it Y. I'm gonna need it later. And then I can even look at the big triangle. Let me call it in green. The small side of the green triangle is 8.5. The medium side, I don't know, it's blank. This is the small, this is the medium, and this whole thing is the large side. The large side is 4 plus y. I do need to solve for y though. I do need to solve for y to be able to find this area. But this time, actually, I'm gonna use the red and blue triangle because on the green triangle we had 4 plus y, but in the blue triangle just have y by itself. So you know what? Let me just do that. So the two sides that I'm using from the blue triangle are what? 7.5 and y. 7.5 from the blue triangle is corresponding with the 4 from the red triangle. The y from the blue triangle is corresponding with 7.5 from the red triangle. Let's cross multiply now. 4 times y is 4y. 7.5 times 7.5. It's a decimal, but not a big decimal. 56.25. Divide both sides by 4. So y is equal to 14.0625. So let me erase this y here. Let me call this 14.0625. All right. And then this side here it is 7.5. I think I can get the area of this triangle now. Because remember, all I need to find this side. I highlighted in yellow, and this side that I highlighted in green. And I know I had to multiply them first. I have to go 7.5 times, open parentheses. Right here at the bottom, I'm going to have 4 plus 14.0625. Because in this case, I want to add before I multiply. So I'm using parentheses. So I multiply those two sides and then divide this by 2. Type it on your calculator literally like that. So 7.5 times, open parentheses, 4 plus 14.0625, close parentheses, all of this divided by 2. My calculator says 67.734, right, and more decimal numbers, but I'm going to round it to 2 decimal places. I'm going to call this 67.73. I highly recommend. Do type it on your calculator. Make sure you get the same thing I do. Okay, let's take a look at 47 now. FGHI is a rectangle. So all the corners are 90 degrees. Cool, we have that. So I can say this corner right here is 90 degrees. Find the length of GJ. So find this length. Let me call it X for right now. Round to 2 decimal places. I can say this corner right here is also 90 degrees because I see the segment FH. One side is 90 degrees. So I see 90 degrees and I see a red triangle here, a red right triangle. I see a blue red triangle here. And then I see a green red triangle here. I see similar triangles. And I know this side right here is 66, right? Because it's a rectangle. So if the side IF is 66, well, HG is 66 as well. I know this side right here is 112, right? If IH is 112, FG is 112 as well. Okay, so let's see, what do we have here? My small, medium, and large from the red triangle. This is the small side, this is the medium side, and this is the large side. I know nothing about the small side. The medium side is X, and the large side is 66. From my blue triangle, these are not drawn to scale. I'm drawing about the same size. This is the small side, this is the medium side, and this is the large side. So the small side is X, the medium side is blank, and the large side is 112. I cannot use those two triangles yet because I don't have corresponding sides. Right, from one triangle I have the medium and large, and then the other triangle I have small and large. So no, not quite yet. Let's take a look at my green triangle, the big one. Here's my small, medium, and large. This is my small side, this is my medium side, and this is the large side. So the small side is 66. The medium side is 112, and the large side is blank. I don't know what it is. Okay. I don't have corresponding sides, right? Okay. Let me call this side wide right now because I can solve for that. Isn't this 66 squared plus 112 squared, like the square root of that? Because remember, 66 squared plus 112 squared equals y squared. Get the square root of that. Oh, so that's easy. Let me type it on my calculator. 66 squared plus 112 squared, all inside the square root. It says this side is 130. I have all three sides from my green triangle, right? That's 130. I can solve for x now. What should I use? Which sides should I use? Let me use the red triangle, just because my numbers are smaller than the blue triangle, just for that. So from the red triangle, I have the values x and 66. X is the medium side, so x goes with 112. 66 is the large side, and that goes with 130. Let me cross multiply. I have that 130x 112 times 66 is 7,392. I'm not doing it by hand, so it's not a big deal. Let me divide both sides by 130. Gives me a decimal. I'm going to round my answer to 2 decimal places. I'm going to call this 56.86. The third decimal number was a 1, so it was too small. I ignored it. 56.86. Cool. Let's take a look at number 48 here. Here's a rectangle. Find the length of RU. So this segment RU, let me call it X for right now. I don't know the value. I know SR is 10 because this is a rectangle. QR is 24 because it's a rectangle. So TS is 24. This is 24 as well. It's all for X. Okay. Let me come up with the red triangle here. The small, medium, and large of my red triangle. The red triangle is here. Here's the small, medium, and large. The small side, I have no idea what it is. The medium side is X, and the large side is 10. Okay. Let me come up with the blue triangle. Again, these are not drawn to scale. So the small side is X, the medium side is blank, and the large side is 24. So the small side is X, medium side is blank, and large side is 24. Cannot use those two triangles because they're not corresponding sides. And let me take a look at a green triangle here. I have to come up with the small, medium, and large. The small side is 10, the medium side is 24, and the large side is blank. So small side is 10, medium side is 24, the large side is blank. But wait a minute. This is actually the square root of 10 squared plus 24 squared. I type that in my calculator and I get 26. Okay, nice, no decimals, easy to deal with. So I know the three sides of my green triangle, 10, 24, and 26. Which triangle should we use? I'm gonna use the red one just because my numbers are smaller. I'm gonna use the values X and 10. X is the medium side. So it goes with 24. 10 is the large side. So it goes with 26. We cross multiplied. 26 times X is 26X. 24 times 10 is 240. Let me divide both sides by 26. I'm just going to go 240 divided by 26, rounded to two decimal places. I'm going to call this 9.23. Cool. Not bad.